Okay, hi everybody. I I think I know most of you already. I don't think I know you, Marianna, right? Okay.
Yes, hello.
Hello. Uh, Maria, I think I saw you already. Could be, but I never work with you, right?
Yes, right. Yes. Hi.
Okay. Okay. Um, what about Dennis? I noticed that he sent the message. Is he about to come?
I think Dennis is with the workshop group.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so it's not going to be here, right? How many people are in the level 2? Yeah, how many? I mean, in this consultation specific level. Yeah, I know, Hans, you're here. Okay, okay, but do you know that there are other people coming? Just to know if we need to wait a few minutes more.
MC wrote that he won't participate today, and
I think Fulgencio and I don't know if he's in this group, but he's in the level 2 as well, and I think Ruth as well.
Okay. So anyway, it's 10 past 7, so I propose you to start. So if these people are joining, it's okay. They're gonna join later. Okay. So hi everybody. I'm Matteo. It's a long time I don't see you. And hi Jans. I got it yet. Okay, so tonight we are going to work on resistance in consultation. Before to let's say to try some exercise in the consultation to analyze some resistance. Let's start from you. So the first exercise I propose you tonight is to try to think to your own bigger resistance when you are a client in a consultation. So you should be able to see the link I send you in the chat. So go to join the doc, and once you are in the doc, you write your name, and afterwards you write your main resistance you spot so far by doing the philosophical practice. So take let's say 2 minutes and do the exercise. Is everything clear for everybody? Yeah. All right.
I think I might be a bit too fast. We have to write down our main difficulties as client, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Okay, let me know when you have finished. You can raise your hand. Okay. Matteo, Galit, Pierre as well. Okay, answer.
Okay. Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. I, Samuel. I send you the link of the Google Doc again. You can find it in the Zoom. So we're gonna work on resistance tonight in the consultation. And the first question I asked the group to answer is, which is your main resistance as a client in a consultation? So now, okay, if you already know, just don't just write down the main concept, and then we can deal with that, because they have already finished. Maria, you did finish? Yes? Okay. Marianne, you look busy.
I have some technical problems tonight.
Oh, which technical problems?
My connection is very weak, so...
Oh, that's why you disconnect before.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Maybe you could try to move in a room of your flat or space where there is a better connection, or that's the best one?
Yeah, that's normally the best one. So
Okay.
I don't know what is happening.
Okay. Okay, I propose you try anyway to follow, and if there is this connection, don't worry, you reconnect again. Okay. Okay. But did you finish to write down the answer, or no? Oh, okay. But are you in the doc? Okay. You see the question? Okay, so just pick the main concept that spot your main resistance as a client. So don't write an entire sentence, just one word, and then you're gonna have the chance to explain it. Okay, Samuel, tell me when you have done. Oh, done already. Yes. Okay. Okay. So I propose you to start. Let's start from the top. So I propose Pierre. Pierre, can you read your answer aloud, please?
Yes. My main difficulty is to problematize an evidence.
Okay. And why do you think that's? I mean, is that difficult for you?
Because I see it as an evidence, then I am stuck with on habits.
Okay. And in general, why do you think people struggle to problematize an evidence? Do you see any hypothesis to explain why, in general, it could be difficult?
But the first one is the habits. You don't think in another way because you have some usual habits.
Okay. Okay. Habits. So strong habits, I suppose, strong ones.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay. You have other hypotheses?
Yes, because you have some social pressure to think like that. Your environment have strong influence on you.
Okay, okay. So could you try to give a name, just a name, to the first person who has that problem for that reason and for the second person? So how do you name a person who cannot problematize an evidence because he's stuck in his own strong habits?
I would say a rigid person.
Rigid. Explain why.
Because if you go on the same path every day, then you can't even think about another way. So you are rigid.
Okay, okay. And the second one, how would you name him?
Influence, I would say. You are influenced.
Influence.
Influenced.
Okay. I propose you heteronymist because you depend from outside, from the others. Do you like it or you prefer influence?
Again, please, what you said?
Heteronomist.
Heteronomist? I don't know the word, but...
Heteronomy? You never heard heteronomy?
No, I don't know this word.
Okay, who knows heteronomy? Who knows the meaning of heteronomy? Okay, Pierre, pick one.
Yes, get it?
It's the opposite of autonomy. Instead of rely on yourself, rely on things from outside.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, Pierre, that it could work for the second definition.
Yes. Yes. Yes, it's
Okay.
better.
Okay, so rigid and heteronomist. Which is your main, let's say, topic? You think?
Rigid. Yes.
Rigid. Okay, so you're stuck in habits.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so let's try just for fun to think as a group some advice we could give to Pierre in order to be less rigid and less stuck with his habits. Any ideas? Raise your hand. Okay, Pierre, pick one. I see Matteo, Galit, and Samuel.
May I, Samuel? Please.
Yeah.
When you are rigid, it's useful to touch yourself. So you can try to imagine what is unthinkable. Also, if it's strange for you.
Okay, repeat the first. Repeat everything because I lost one word of the first part. Samuel.
What is useful when you are rigid is detachment. So separate from your point of view in order to not follow your habitudinary behavior. You can try to think the unthinkable, even if it's strange.
Okay, so what would be the main concept in your answer, Samuel?
The main concept is detachment. Detachment.
Okay, but let's say that Pierre is available to detachment, but he is having hard time to detach from himself. What do you suggest to him in order to detach from himself?
Not take it personally. Take it as a play, as a field in which is possible to try other ideas.
Okay, Pierre, what?
Yes.
You take it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay. Thanks, Samuel. And Matteo, you had something different or the same idea?
No, it was the same idea because it was pretend that you are. It is about a third person. It's similar. It's not about you. You detach.
Okay. Okay. So do you like that idea, Pierre?
To play? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I like it.
So you're not a playful guy. You're still guy.
Yeah. Probably
Okay.
not. Probably not.
Okay. So basically, you're too serious. You're stuck with yourself, and you're stuck in habits too. But if you play more, you could be a bit more flexible, and you could avoid that resistance you meet in a consultation. Yeah. Okay. Nice. You see, it's important to be aware about our own resistance as a client, because when we are the philosopher, if we know about our resistance, we can understand better other people having the same resistance, for example. Okay. Okay. Hans, what do you want to do? First, say what you want to do. It's a question. It's it's observation.
It's a suggestion.
It's a suggestion. Okay.
Yeah.
To who? To Pierre.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
It's a bit similar to what Matteo and Samuel proposed. It's simply to say to yourself, what is the worst thing that can happen if I play along? It's not like the end of the world.
Okay, Pierre, do you take it? Did you understand first or no?
Yes, to de-dramatize is the main idea.
Okay, makes sense?
Yes, okay.
Okay,
Yes.
thanks, Hans.
Thanks, yeah.
Okay, I suggest you to go on. So, Maria, could you read your sentence?
Okay. If I don't like the idea, I can agree this proposal to avoid discussion. And other difficulty is a silence instead of discussion. Then I stuck.
Okay. Other difficulties is silence instead of discussion. Okay. How would you name this resistance if you should pick a main concept?
Avoidance of discussion.
Okay. Through silence, right?
Yes, through silence or through agreement.
Agreement. Okay. Okay. So basically, you say yes, even if it's just an excuse in order not to engage with the dialogue with the other. It's a way to escape the dialogue.
Yes.
Are you escaping now? Are you saying yes? Okay, now you're not escaping, right?
Yes.
Okay, yes.
No, I'm not escaping.
Okay. So, any ideas to help to try to give some advice to Maria in order not to escape from dialogue?
To like a challenge.
Oh, you find already an advice. So, okay, make it clear. What say again?
Yeah. To like a challenge, but I don't know how to like the challenge.
Okay, any suggestion, any advice to enjoy the challenge? Okay, I see two hands. Maria, pick one.
Some
In order to enjoy a challenge, you could reflect the fact that a challenge is a way to know your limits or improve them.
Okay, so did you understand, Maria?
Yes, I understand.
Do you think it could work?
Yes, it could work. Yeah.
Try to explain how it could work. Why this idea that Samuel proposed to you could make you, let's say, escape less from the dialogue.
Yeah, because it is the way to know myself, to know my own limits, and the way to know my limits, it's the challenge.
Okay, yeah. So it's proposing you like a goal, a motivation in order to, let's say, to see the challenge as something worthy.
Yes, valuable, yes.
Okay, but let me ask you, Maria, you didn't see before the challenge worthy already?
Yes, it's worth it, but if I have option to avoid it, I will avoid it.
But you knew already that the challenge it could be worthy for you, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so we need something more here because you knew already that the challenge is worthy, and apparently it didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
You see?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, so any other ideas? I mean, to add to the Samuel's one.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hans?
I see Pierre and Hans. Pick one,
Hans?
Hans.
Stop worrying about whether the effort is worth it. Just run right into it. Draw first.
Okay, Maria, how does it sound?
I not clearly understand about intuition.
No, I said
Just go for it.
Okay, wait. Okay, answer. Try to say it again, but in a more concise way and more clear.
Yeah, as I said, try to draw first. Run head into the challenge without thinking about the extras. Is it worth it and so on? Just go straight for it. Pick up the challenge and take it.
Okay, did you get it now, Maria?
Yes, I get it. Yes, I get it.
You take it or no?
I will think about it, but I didn't.
Okay,
I don't
won't think about it. It means no. Basically, Hans is giving you the opposite idea than Samuel did before. You see, so don't focus on results, but just on the process and jump in the water and enjoy it. But you,
yeah, I understand, but
but you don't like it. Okay. Oh, let me ask you, Maria. Are you a bit result oriented person? Yes,
I'm
okay. Okay. So maybe that's why it didn't work so much to focus on results, or maybe that's the very problem.
Yeah, I see, but also I see that this approach can work, but I need time to think about it. Maybe I will come.
Okay. Once you have thought about, just let Hans Christian know if it works or no. Okay, because. Okay, so I suggest we pick two more. Who want to share his own resistance? Okay, Maria, pick one. I see Galit and Hans Christians.
Galit?
And the first one, that I have difficulty to choose between two options when there's only two options. All the time want to, not all the time, but sometimes I need the third one. So it's, I think that was my first difficulty with this kind of consultation.
Okay. Choosing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What's so hard about choosing, Galit?
Because usually there's not black and white. There's 5 kinds of gray in between. So when I have to choose.
Okay, Galit. Imagine that the next consultation you're going to do, you have like in front of you a person just like you. You ask her or him like a yes or no question, and he says, "Okay, but there are many different colors. It's not just yes and no." Which kind of strategy you could use in order to help that person to answer the yes or no question?
Usually I'm saying that the third one is escaping from choosing.
Okay.
And I said that when we concentrate only on two options, it's in a way make it easier to decide. When we have more options, it makes it more difficult to decide.
Okay, so by saying that, so in that case, you're suggesting the idea that choosing between two options is easier, right?
Yes, in
But
a way.
did it work with you? Okay, seems no.
So.
Okay, so try to use a strategy that it could work with you as well.
Okay, to think that there are only two options and I have to choose between them. Think that that's the only option. There's no other options.
Are you having problem to choosing right now between many?
I don't have any good idea. No, not choosing it. Just don't have any good idea. Any idea, not good one. I just.
Okay,
No.
but you know, perfectionism is a reason why people have a hard time choosing. You know, they look for the best perfection ideas. Are you a bit perfectionist?
I don't know if it's perfection.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I suggest you to say the first stupid idea that it comes into your mind.
I don't have any idea. Right now I don't.
Oh, any ideas? Because before you said
nothing comes to my mind right now.
Okay, because before you said I don't have any good ideas, but if you don't have any good idea, maybe you have some bad ideas.
I don't have.
So you don't have
idea.
any ideas. Okay, okay. So who has an idea to propose to Galit? Okay, Galit, I see some hands. Pick one.
Someone, please.
I would propose to you to establish percentage. If you cannot decide from two options because it's too dramatic for you, you can indicate what option you like more with a percentage.
Okay, do you like it, that idea, Galit?
Yes, could be a good option.
Do you see the which system, which strategy is using Samuel by proposing that idea, or no?
Yeah.
Could you explain it?
Instead of thinking on the best one, on the absolute one, just take what it is instead of looking for the good one.
Okay. Yeah, in a way, is reducing the pressure to have to take 100% to one direction. So you say just try to find your tendency, basically. Yeah. So it works for. It can work especially with absolute people. No, they want 100%. Are you looking for the 100% answer? Galet?
No, only the best one.
Only the best. Okay. Okay, it's enough for the best ones. So yes, okay. Okay, Marianna, did you want to propose another idea?
It's quite similar to what Samuel says. It's the word rather. Put the word rather before yes or no. So it's easier to swallow the pill for you.
Okay. So you see, it's another way to reduce a bit the heaviness of the question. So which option you rather take? Yes or no? Okay. Okay, and I propose you a third one that is you can invite the person in front of you just to play the game, just to take the question as a game. So just for fun, say yes or no. So take one direction, but don't think too much. So it's another way to reduce the pressure. Yeah. It seems that Hans Christian has a first advice. So, okay, Hans Christian, go
on. Some people are so demanding or so complicated that if you try to explain the principle of mutual exclusion from logic to them, and you say, "Do you understand?" They say, "Yes, but I don't agree." I mean, try to accept. If you have two options, there are only two options. You cannot have your cake and eat it, whatever you like. You cannot go any further. That's a deal. The game is choose between these two. Finito.
Okay, I think you have many options to choose among. Which is your favorite one? So you can train to choose, right?
Yeah.
I think Marian one, which is quite similar to Samuel.
Okay, but to put rather to reduce the heaviness of the question. Okay, nice. Okay, so there is someone else that want to share his own resistance. He thinks is important. Okay, Hans Christian and a bit okay, and Samuel. So and Marianne as well. Oh, three ends. Since Marianne is the one who didn't participate so much so far, I would give the priority to her if it's okay with you, Hans and Samuel. Okay, so Marianne, you can share your main resistance by reading what you wrote before.
I tend to say only yes or no without any explanation or argumentation.
Oh, you're stingy.
I'm a little bit greedy, yes.
That's the opposite. You are not generous. You're
yes.
stingy.
No.
Okay. And why do you think you're stingy?
Maybe I don't want to get so much out of me, so it's some kind of hiding.
Okay, you don't add anything because you want to hide yourself.
Yes.
Okay, so let's think. I think is something common in consultation. So, what could be a nice strategy in order to deal with someone who is stingy, let's say, and he tried to hide himself in the consultation? What can you do, Marian, with such a person?
Ask open questions. So that is the avoidance of yes and no. Ask for examples. It's always a good strategy. So it causes often a longer speech.
Okay. So open question and asking for examples. Yeah. But have you noticed that there are some people like you that prefer to hide themselves through being like stingy, let's say, and not to say many words. But there are other people who are hiding themselves by using a lot of words. They speak a lot and they use the words in order to hide. Did you notice that or no?
Yes.
Okay, so maybe in that case, an open question is not the best question you could ask, So you have some other ideas in order to deal with these kind of people who hide through speech?
Yes, more provocative, we can ask directly. Why are your answers so short, or what's the problem? Why do you don't explain your answers?
Okay, but here now we are thinking about the people who hide through the speech. So they speak a lot. They don't speak.
Okay. When someone hides behind many words, I would say please be precise and pick the main idea, for example, or just make it in one sentence, or maybe.
Okay, so you put some boundaries, some limits in the answer. Yes. So you see there are two different there are opposite strategies with the same problem, in two different ways. So you put some limit in order to break the hiding strategy of the other person when the other person is speaking too much. And you ask for examples, or you ask an open question when the other person is hiding through, let's say, silence or like very short answers. You see? So it's important to be flexible, because you could have the same problem, but not all the strategy are good for all the people. So you have to pick the right strategy to the right person. Yeah. Okay, but let's see if other people have other proposals to you, Marianne. Any other ideas about this? I see Hans and Samuel. Marianne, Maria, are you raising your hands or what? I saw your hands a bit. No. Okay. Marianne, who do you pick?
Hans, please.
Hans.
Yes, it's a little bit in line with what you said about changing, about being tactful. Sometimes you should not push the other. There are some people, for instance, who will alternate between being very quiet, usually when I ask them an important question, and then we ask about a little detail, they will blabber on and so on. You should try to establish, to see if you can see a pattern in the ways of answering before you push too hard.
Okay. So don't be too aggressive, Marianne.
Okay.
Okay, play soft. That's the Hans Christian advice. Okay. Okay. If there is nothing else about this, I propose you to try now some consultation. So I need, let's say, for now, one volunteer as a philosopher and one volunteer as a client. Okay, Galit, you want to be the philosopher or the client?
The philosopher.
The philosopher. Okay, and Christian and Samuel, are you offer yourself as a client? Okay, so Galit, pick one between Hans and Samuel.
There is also Maria.
Also Maria. Okay, I propose we can like keep Samuel and Maria for the next consultation, because we're gonna do like a 10-minute consultation. Then we do some feedback about the resistance we see. Okay, and then we switch to another consultation. So I will start with Hans Christian. I think is an ideal client to look for some resistance. Hans Christian, are you ready to be resistant? now you can be resistant, because you need to challenge Galet. So we see her strategy in order to deal with your resistance. You ready? Okay. So, Galit, you have like 10 minutes, or anyway, I will stop you, okay, at one point. So you can consult Hans Christian, and all the observers are invited to write down all the resistance they see in the client and the strategy that Galit will try to use in order to avoid them or to overcome them. Is the instruction clear for everybody? Maria, is clear? Yes? Okay. So I invite also Pierre and Fulgencio, if they are behind the screen, to do the same. And type down and write down all your observation and feedback about that in the doc. So after the 10-minute consultation, we're gonna discuss a bit about that. Okay, so 10 minutes from now, Galit, you can start.
Hello, Hans. Any questions? Any thought? Any problem? Anything?
Yes. This is a standard one of mine. Why do I hate to be kept waiting?
Can't hear. Why do you hate to
be kept waiting when someone keeps me waiting deliberately?
What is the problem to wait?
It's most people find it highly unpleasant to be kept.
I can't understand you. Well, can you repeat?
When you realize that someone is deliberately keeping you waiting, then it's highly unpleasant. I think for most people, it's a sign of disrespect from the person.
So the problem is this that someone disrespects you.
Yes, and it's very rude to do.
Can you think about any other reason why people letting you wait for them?
It's a way of pulling a rank, showing authority.
No, I'm hard time to understand what you're saying.
Letting someone know that you're letting them wait is a way of showing authority, of pulling a rank, belittling the other.
So do you have a problem with authority?
Not if it's reasonable. I don't have any problems with the police keeping me back from an accident, for example, if that were to happen. Then there's a point to it. Authority for the sake of authority is not reasonable and not good.
Did you answer my questions? Or I didn't?
I think so. Yes. You asked me if I have. Why do you have a problem with authority? And I said not if it. I added a condition to it. I said not if it's reasonable.
Okay. So what do you mean by reasonable authority?
I gave you an example. I said if the police are trying to divert traffic, they exert authority, and there's a good reason for that. Don't you understand? You do not cross a police line when there's a traffic accident. Okay, and the police exert authority in that situation as they rightfully should. Only if the police have sealed off an area because there's been a traffic accident, only an idiot will cross that line. So, I mean, in that case, I would respect the authority. In any case where the authority has a purpose, I respect it. I have no problem with that.
Okay, now I get it. Okay, I'm stuck for a moment. Is that?
You get it. I mean, if the sergeant shouts about turn, you don't say, could I go over here instead?
Coach consultation, Andrea, help me. I feel stuck.
Okay, I suggest that we've seen enough so far. I think Hans Christian did a great job with the resistance. And it was a hard one, Galit, so don't worry. And so now I propose the observer to share the observation about the resistance that Hans Christian showed during this short consultation. And then if you have noticed some strategy that Galit put in the consultation in order to avoid them. Who wants to start with sharing? Okay, we have plenty of hands. So, Galit, who do you pick?
Matteo.
Okay, so One thing that I see is that Hans tends to speak a lot, so it is talkative, is verbosity, the resistance.
Okay, so it's a nice example about what we were discussing before with Marianne. People who try to resist and to hide through speech, to throwing words. Okay, and let me check. Galit, did you notice that Hans Christian was resisting through this kind of system by saying a lot of stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. So you agree with Matteo. Hans Christian, at the end, you can summarize your ideas and your experience as a client. But now we just deal with the, let's say, philosopher and this point of view of the philosopher. Okay, so Matteo, did you notice also some strategy that Galit put in the consultation?
Yes, she tried to ask for clarifications, which is a weak way to stop him from talk a lot. It's a bit weak, probably, but she tried to do this, a lot of clarification questions.
Okay, and so you by what you're saying, you don't think it did work so much, the clarification questions?
No.
Okay, so
it was a bit weak.
The client was speaking a lot.
Yes, because if you ask again to clarify, he tends to speak again more than before. So
that's not the right strategy with such a client, right?
Yes, you should stop him and be more authoritative, more in charge of the conversation. Stop him and ask for a sentence and one sentence and stop.
Okay, so basically, you notice this strategy that Galit tried to put in the consultation, but you propose another one, which is to stop the client talking, right? And
yes.
But there are many ways to stop the client talking. Which one do you suggest to Galit in this case?
To answer, to say the same thing in one sentence, in 12 words, or yes. This.
Okay. So to reduce the answer, and you put some limits to the answer. So quantitative limits, let's say.
Yes.
Words, short sentence, something like that. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Nice. Galit, you know already that trick. Come on. You knew already.
Yeah, sure. I'm using it.
Why you didn't put that trick, the strategy? Why?
Actually, it's not only now. All the time, I'm having hard time to understand what Hans Christian is saying.
Okay,
so,
yes, I understand. But once you understood, you could anyway. You could answer. You could ask him like, "Could you use just 10 words to answer me?"
Yeah, that's the default questions. Yeah, I should use it.
And why you didn't?
I don't know.
Okay, think. You can, if you don't know, you can think.
I think that maybe I didn't think about, although it's a useful one, I didn't think about it in that moment.
Okay. But remember it when it seems banal, but I think it's efficient.
Yeah.
Yes. And by the way, the structure says a lot about the client. What do you pick from this verbosity by the client? What do you can tell about him?
From his answers? That
from the fact that he's using a lot of words and speech.
He's confused and he needs to not improve, but he needs some not respect from others. It's very important for him to be understood by others, although it's the opposite thing, and accept the name in English, that someone is not respect, but someone I forgot to think good thing about you, like good evaluation.
Okay, so the reputation, in a way, the recognition, yeah.
Yeah, recognition from others or something like that.
Okay, but okay, let me check with the group. What do you tell about the client when he speaks so much? What can you tell? What can you? Okay, Pierre.
Do you want to be understood?
That would be the question you would ask the client, right?
Yes.
And why do you think it's a good question?
Because if the person wants to be understood, he has to be slower, articulate words, and checking if what he said is understood.
Okay, so here it seems to be a nice paradox because since what Galit said, and for Ernst Christian is important to be understood, but because of he's using a lot of words, he's create confusion and the other person cannot understand him, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay, nice, thank you. And Samuel?
In defense of Galit, I saw that she used another strategy to fight this verbosity of Hans Christian.
Okay,
that didn't repeat it enough, and so didn't work. And she asked in a moment of the consultation, "Did you answer to my question?" And it's useful to take a stop in the client because it proposes to the client to think of the speech of philosopher, not on his ideas.
Okay, yes, I agree. I remember she used that system, but do you think it worked or no? Rather no.
It didn't work because she didn't stop him. She said that question while Ansa was talking.
Okay, so you see, even that strategy, in order to work, it needs the other strategy, which is the stop the other. Okay, okay. So, Galit, someone is saying that you did a good try, but because you were not able to stop him, it didn't work. Okay, okay. But anyway, it's important. I give you another idea that when you see this structure problem, this problem about speaking a lot, you can focus more on the let's say way the other person is answering you instead of try to focus on the content, because at one point you were dealing with understanding the content, but the form is more useful in the majority of the case, because the form doesn't lie, the content can lie, the form doesn't lie. Okay, so you could answer, but did you notice that you are using a lot of words, and why do you do that? Okay, so for example, you can see from that way he's answering that he has a problem with limits. Yeah, he's adding stuff. No, he have hard time to stop himself. No.
Therefore, I'm smiling. I wonder whether the questions why are you doing this? It will stop him or just.
Okay. You were afraid to ask that. Okay, as Christian, you made a Galit afraid to ask you some questions.
Okay. First, Matteo could not be more dead wrong. We spent half the time here with me trying to explain.
Who is wrong? Who is that wrong?
No, he said that I resisted. Allow me, please, to.
Matteo.
No, wait on. Hang on. Allow me to form reasonable sentences. Galit is right that I was eager to be understood, because I was at my wit's end trying to explain to her something very, very simple. I gave a very straightforward answer to her question. She said, "Do you have a problem with authority?" And then I admitted that I had a caveat. I said, "Not if it's reasonable." And then I tried to give her as good an example as I could think of the cuff. That was what you don't like cross a police line during a traffic accident after I took this.
Okay, Hans Christian, try to answer, try to say what you want to say in a short sentence with maximum 15 words.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, Matteo was wrong when he said I resisted. I did exactly the opposite. I tried to explain to someone who couldn't understand a very, very simple sentence.
Okay, I think you overcome the limit, I think. Okay, okay. You try to explain, that's your idea. You try to explain, you didn't resist, right?
Yes, because there was a limit to how much. I mean, I could not understand. She could not understand me because it was so simple.
Okay, but we don't need because now. Okay, okay. But let me ask you, Hans, what would you ask to a client just like you? Imagine you are questioning Hans Christian Andersen 2.0.
I could not for the life of me imagine that I could not understand when someone said, if I said, do we have a problem with authority? Not if it's within reason. That's commonsensical.
Okay,
answer.
okay.
I talk about authority for authority's sake.
Christian, don't worry. That's the problem, by the way. You see, you speak too much. And when you speak too much, the other person have hard time to understand you. Okay, it's not. I don't think it's a valid problem. I think it's a problem of a person who speak with another person is using too much words. He has a problem with limits. You see.
Right.
So I propose to you we stop here the discussion. Okay. So I know it's by what you asked before is. I
could clarify in a sentence.
No, don't clarify because I'm afraid that you're gonna make them even more confused than confusing than before. But don't worry. Okay, so I invite you to experience the not reasonable authority who make you wait for no reasons. Okay. I know that you don't like it, but it could be a nice experience. And try to observe yourself, what's happening in your mind, when you are waiting, okay? So try to wait more. You're an impatient guy, so try to wait, don't worry. And before to speak, count until 100, okay? Okay, thank you, Hans. Other comments about this? Okay, I see Pierre. Pierre?
Yes, it's about conditional. When someone answers with some condition, there is in a way a resistance in it. In the content this way, because you don't want to answer, you just put a context to make things in just one piece and not other thing.
Yes, do you remember one example that Hans Christian used by putting condition?
Yes, Galit said, do you have a problem with authority? And he said, no, if it's reasonable.
Okay.
So yeah, there is this if, which is a condition. Yeah.
And in that case, if you have such a client by answering with condition to your question, what strategy would you adapt?
First, I will ask. I would ask, do you see what you have just done? Just to check if it's possible to have some distance with the answer.
Okay.
And if it's not possible, I put the idea of condition and that it try to answer in a general way to engage yourself.
Okay. Okay. So you try to make the client more aware about what the type of answer you just gave. And then if it doesn't work, you try to reflect about conditioning in answering, which the function is conditioning, and to push the person to give a general one.
Yes, first perhaps to see what does conditional thinking show is functioning.
Okay. Okay. So
it tells the form, like you said, tells a lot about how.
Okay, nice. So you use that problem, that resistance, in a way as an opportunity to reveal something to the person.
Yes, yes.
Okay, Ansan, please, just wait. Training the patience. Okay, okay. You make me nervous.
That's okay.
Okay, so I think what Pierre said is very important about resistance. So in a way, many philosophers are afraid to get some resistance clients, but it could be an opportunity as well. So if you see some resistance, you could use that resistance in a way for the sake of the dialogue, to try to reveal something about the client thinking system, or in order to show the worldview of the client. So, Galit could be a nice one, that one. What do you think?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So write down. This is nice advice. So next time when you have like anxious and client, you can use it. Okay. Okay, Hans Christian, please. No, I need a break from the dialogue with you, because otherwise I lose my.
I just wanted to say I agree with Pierre. That's all.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You could always wait. If you
Okay,
say
you agree.
with the caveat,
You want just to say
you
that
wait with the caveat. You could say later.
Agree. Okay. Okay. Pierre, Hans Christian is agreeing with you. Okay. Are you happy?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Okay. Any other observation about this short consultation? Otherwise, we switch to the next one. Pierre.
Yeah, yeah. I see some aggressivity also. I have already give it to you about an example. Say that. So in a way, it's a way to say, okay, I do the work, but you don't follow. So you're not a.
Okay, it's a way to say you're stupid.
Yeah, or not so much. Yeah.
Well,
stupid, I don't know. It's a little.
If I say I already gave to you, it means that you don't follow, you don't understand, so you're stupid.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Okay. Yeah. In a way, yeah.
Okay.
And there is it's a very, very simple sentence. He qualified his sentence by saying that, which means again that if it's simple and you don't get it, you're stupid again. And wait, which means I ask and you listen. So there is a lot of small part, which is some aggressivity. And again, we have to point it, I think, as a consultant, because if not, we are it's a tiger and who beat you. So yeah.
Okay. So you would use the same strategy than you proposed before. You would, let's say, try to reflect about this aggressivity in the consultation.
Yes, and I think if you do that, you help the person first to see it, and it makes calm down.
Yes.
There is less aggressivity after, because there is a distance with it.
Yeah, now you're using the idea that Samuel proposed to you at the beginning. So to create some distance,
yes,
by thinking in a way. Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, nice. Galit? First, did you understand, Pierre?
I'm not sure. No.
Okay, it means no. There is someone who wants to rephrase the Pierre idea? Let's see. Maria?
Yes.
Could you repeat the Pierre idea for Galit?
The idea of aggressivity of Hans' resistance.
I mean, see, yes, but the idea about how to deal with aggressivity in general.
No, I can't repeat because
Okay, you were not
lost.
Okay, you were not following, or you followed and you didn't understand?
No, I did not follow in the last part of peer observation.
Okay. Were you thinking to something else?
Yes, I was thinking about aggressive resistance. Yes.
Okay, but since we are speaking, do you have other idea about what you were thinking about aggressivity?
I can show that there is aggressivity and ask why.
Okay, that was you're thinking about aggressivity, to ask why you are aggressive.
Yes, why you are aggressive, and I thought about although it continue or it's better to stop the consultation if
Okay.
there is aggressive resistance.
So basically, you would put the client in front of a choice, or you reflect with me about this aggressivity. Either we stop.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Galit, since the time problem, I will rephrase the Pierre idea for you. Okay. Pierre was saying that he would propose the client to reflect about this aggressivity and to think about this. And he was saying also that if you make the client think about the aggressivity, it could be a nice way to reduce the aggressivity itself. Because thinking creates distance. Do you like this idea by Pierre?
I think one of the problems could be that this kind of questions can make more resistant.
Okay, so you don't take it. You're saying that it's the opposite.
Possible. I have an example in my mind from a client a week ago, a bit like Hans. He keep answer with a lot of words. He was very emotional, and whenever I asked him to answer shortly, he became more aggressive, and he feel that he doesn't understood. And in one point, just let him speak because I couldn't stop him.
Okay, but Gali, did you notice that now you're in your example, you are saying a different system, which is a different strategy, which is to put some limits in the answer of the client. And Pierre was saying something different, was saying to think about the aggressivity in itself.
Yes, it's something different, but I think that when someone is in a mode of resistance, when you ask this kind of way, either the question that Pierre suggests or try to limit it, something that confront the resistance, sometimes it's the opposite reaction.
Yeah, but have you ever tried the Pierre idea so far or no?
No.
Okay, so why you don't try first and then you see what happens?
I will.
Yeah, but why you didn't try?
Why I didn't try?
Yes.
I think I've tried quite same, for example, with this client. But he just want to express himself. And
okay. Okay.
I try to stop him or to think about the way he reacts. He just continue with his answers.
Okay, I suggest you, okay, maybe it is not there is no strategy for everybody. Do you agree with that? There is not one absolute strategy. It works in any condition, in any consultation. I of course, I agree with you with that. But why you don't try at least, and then you see the reaction of the client, and then you work with the reaction.
Yeah, what I mean that.
Yeah, but did you see my point before? So you said what you mean?
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to try. And what can you lose? I mean, before you try, okay?
But what I'm thinking that if it's one step reaction, that for example the client answer is a long answer once, maybe this kind of strategy could work. But if we keep talking a lot, like the client I have in my mind, that she just needed someone to listen to him, I don't know if it works. Try to stop him, or in one point, just let him speak.
Okay, so which other strategy did you propose instead?
What happened in that session, that in one point, I just let him talk. And in the end, I asked him if he think that now he's more understood or no.
Okay, that's another strategy, by the way. You let the person speak. Sometimes it could be worthy. And at the end of the speech, you say, or you rephrase the question, or you ask some questions about his previous answer. Did it work, by the way, that time?
No, he kept talking a lot.
Okay. Okay.
He didn't want to think. I think that I felt that he didn't want to think. He was very emotional and just want to speak and someone to listen to him. He was not a partner of thinking.
Galit, sometimes we need just to accept that with some people in some consultation, it's just not possible. But before, we could play the game by using different strategy, by being flexible and plastic. So don't be afraid to experiment some strategy. And then if they don't work, you can always drop the consultation, say, okay, goodbye, see you next time, or never. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's take a last comment about this, if there is. Otherwise, we go to the next consultation. Let me ask, Marianne, did you notice something about the short consultation we just seen?
Yes, I thought this that Hans wants to take over the power and the control.
Okay, nice. Yes. Okay.
I think the strategy of Galit when she was asking, "Did you answer my question?" To take the power again, but Hans.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, I agree with you. Indeed, there was a power game between them. Okay. And what would you do in that situation, Marianne?
I don't know. I feel with Galit. I also get lost, and I thought, okay, I really don't know what I do in this situation. It's hard.
Okay, let's see if someone has some advice for because I think it's something that could happen to anyone. By the way, there is a person who wants the power, and because he wants the power, it doesn't want to answer your question, or they want to keep the control of the discussion all the time. Okay, so in that case, what would you do? In general, I am asking in general now. Okay, let's go to Matteo, and then, yes.
You can ironically ask him to do the philosopher and do the questions.
Okay, nice. You switch the roles, yes?
Yes.
And why do you think it could work?
Because the person will feel a bit uncomfortable with answering this question, and maybe he will understand there is something wrong in his way of behaving.
By asking questions as a philosopher, you mean?
No, by saying this question, I say you make him think. I don't think he will accept this proposal.
Okay, but what if he accepts the proposal?
Okay, so you can go on and play for a while, and then after a while you ask, okay, are you okay now? Can we go on with the work now?
Okay. Yeah, I never did that strategy, but I saw Oscar that he did a few times. Yes.
I saw that. Yes.
And did it work at that time when you saw?
I don't remember when. I remember this strategy, but usually it works with Oscar. So.
Yeah, okay. And I saw another strategy that Oscar used sometimes, that is he gives like 2 minutes to the client to say anything he wants. And then he starts questioning him again.
Yes.
Okay, nice. Thanks. And Maria?
So to try to be more strict with client and to ask to answer a new question, to show that he doesn't answer, and again, if he continues to do it, and to stop talking the client, and to take power of the consultation to myself.
Okay, so stopping the other is a way to use the power.
Yes, it's a way to use the power. Yes.
Okay, but have you noticed that Galit has a problem with power?
Yes.
She doesn't like to use the power.
She doesn't like.
She could have used the power, but she preferred no, or she couldn't.
Yeah.
Okay, what?
Soft way of consultation.
Soft way, yes. But what would you suggest to Galit in order to be more powerful in the consultation?
To think about the structure of consultation, that there should be some structure, and to have approach to be in this structure, and to give feedback for the client. It's not for the philosopher. It's for client.
Okay, give some structure. Could you give an example of structure?
A structure that we have a question, and the client should answer it. Yes, for example, or no, and give argument. And if he doesn't do it, to take attention to it.
Okay. So Galit, another idea I think is a good one is to structure the consultation. But maybe someone else said something similar before, but structure. And by the way, let me add Galit to you this one. I use the Google Doc sometimes with when I have like let's say anxious clients. I go to the Google Doc, because by making the client writing is a way to structure the consultation already. So think about that. It could be worthy, when the person speaks too much, you say, okay, write down the answer. Cannot writing a poem, So, okay, nice. But you were too much focusing on about yourself. You noticed that, Galit? You were worried about not understanding. So you were too much busy with yourself in order to put this strategy that I'm pretty sure you knew already some of these strategies, right?
I've been trying what Matteo said. Once I had a client with a lot of power game. Actually, it was continuous power game, but aggressive one, not soft like hands. And in one point, I asked him, okay, now you will be the philosopher. And in that moment, he stopped. Until the rest of that meeting, there was not no power game, or at least not so aggressive one. The next session, it starts again. But for half an hour, it stopped.
Okay, but the first session, it worked, the Matteo system, right?
Yeah, it started to be more play with me, and yeah.
Sometimes some people are so obsessed with power. If you just give them the power for a few minutes, then they are happy and they can accept your power afterwards,
Yeah, that's what happened.
Okay, nice. I saw Samuel before raising his hand, right?
Yeah. Another interesting strategy that Oscar used is a simple and ironic question that sounds like this. Do you want to dance with me, or do you prefer to dance alone?
Okay. And why do you think it could work?
Because it forces the client to make a choice. to go ahead with his tendency of taking all the space, all the time for himself and speaking, or doing something with another person. So respecting the rhythm or the understanding capabilities of the interlocutor.
Okay, so in a way, you're saying that by using metaphor like that, and by the way, that's called transposition in Plato, and Socrates used a lot transposition. In a way, take the logic of what is happening and to transpose the logic in another situation in order to make the other person be aware about what's happening in that situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, nice one. You see, Galit, you need to be creative in the consultation. So don't be too worried about yourself. So take it as a game, Okay, if there is, I see you, Hans. I'm a bit scared because could you? I don't wanna make you be silent, but could you please try to be concise in what? Yeah.
Hopefully.
Because otherwise, I just don't understand what you say. Because if you say too many things, I'm confused. So try to be clear and concise. Go on.
It's a continuation of what Pierre said before. If
All right.
someone wants to elaborate on a caveat, you can accommodate him by saying, can't you save the caveat for later? Just say yes or no. I had a caveat when she asked about authority. She could have said, do we have a problem? And I could have said yes or no. And then I could have said later, as long as it's reasonable, for example, because very few people like empty authority.
Okay.
Do you understand? Or
I don't think there is someone who understood the Christian idea. Wait. Answer. Let's see if the group understood something. Somebody understood Hans Christian's idea? No, as you see, that's the problem. You see, nobody understood. So try again last time. Otherwise, we go on anyway. Try to give your idea. Don't put too many elements.
If someone introduces a caveat, a caveat, a reservation to something, they say, to an answer, then say, could you please say yes or no, and then save the caveat for later. You can always add that. That was what I said before. Just say yes or no, and then we can talk about the biconditionals afterwards.
Yeah, but do you think that could work with the clients like you?
Yes, of course.
Of course.
I would have been happy to because
okay.
I saw the question as an absolute.
Okay, so Galit, next time you have another strategy to use with Hans Christian, and Hans Christian is suggesting you this strategy. Okay, so maybe you could try again by yourself. If you have time, you meet, you do 10 minutes, you record, Galit, and you can use also that strategy, and then you see if it works or no. Okay.
Can you say, Choti, what did he say? What strategy Hans suggests? Didn't get it.
You ask Hans Christian, repeat it for the last time, please.
If someone introduces a caveat, a reservation, a biconditional, then ask the person to answer your question with a yes or no. Do you have a problem with authority? Yes or no? And then save your reservation for later in the conversation. Sorry.
Okay, so Hans, I propose you to explain Galit this idea later after the session, and you could try to do another consultation with her, a short one, to record it, and then Galit could try to use some strategy we suggest to her. Okay, you could do that as a homework. Is it right for you? Yes,
so
you have time.
Where I'm the client, then still.
Yes,
okay.
You have you are the client, and Galit is the philosopher. And but next time, Galit use all the strategy, or not all, but a few strategies that you didn't use so far this time. All right.
And I'm going to send the recording to you, Andrea.
Okay. So when I want to ruin my evening, I'm gonna say it, okay? Okay, thanks. Okay, all right. So I propose we, let's say, we have half an hour left, so we could try to have some minutes of consultation between Samuel and Maria that they were proposing themselves as volunteers before, and then we see what's happened and we do some observations. So who want to do the philosopher? Why are you smiling, Maria? You prefer to be the philosopher or the client?
Yeah, I prefer to be a client.
Okay, why? Just for fun, why do you prefer to be the client?
Because to be a philosopher, it's to be a challenge. It's meant to be a challenge.
You don't like challenge, right?
Yes, I don't like the challenge.
You remember the advice that Samuel gave to you before? Okay.
I remember.
You just confirm that you keep running away from the challenge.
I prefer to be step by step. And to be a client, it's also to be in a challenge, but not too much.
It's your way to avoid trauma. Okay, let's be nice this time. Okay, you can be the, the client, and Samuel, you can be the philosopher. Okay, so you can start. You're gonna have some minutes, and at one point I will cut you, and then we're gonna discuss together. Go on.
Hi, Maria.
Hello, Samuel.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Do you have a question for me? One about which you want to discuss?
Yes, I have a question.
What is your question?
Why I don't like the challenge?
A fresh one.
Very fresh.
Okay, so let me write it down. Is a challenge something that scares you?
No, they don't scare me.
Why?
Mm. Mm. Because I have a previous experience from challenges, and I don't see in my previous experience much fear about the challenges.
Okay, so what do you how do you name a person that, as you said, doesn't like challenge, for
I think that it's a person who likes comfort.
Okay, and do you like comfort?
I like a comfort.
Can you say positive or great aspect of comfort?
Great aspect in pleasure.
Good feature. Okay, and I think these two concepts. Why comfort is pleasure?
Because you have nice things which you like in the comfort state, and it gives you a pleasure.
I don't think I understood your idea. Can you rephrase it?
Okay, then you have a comfort state. You have things which you like, and it and these things gives me pleasure.
Okay, your question seems to me a bit generic. Did you notice?
Okay. No, I don't notice.
Okay, do you remember your answer?
Last answer?
Yeah.
Yes, I remember. Yes.
Can you repeat the last time your answer?
Yes. Then I have a comfort state. I have things which I like, and these things gives me a pleasure.
What is in your answer that you can describe as generic? I noticed
Generic.
it's very generic in your answer.
I talked about the generous. It was about my last answer. Yes.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
the one you repeated.
Okay. Maybe there's things, but I have no precise answer. Okay.
And do you agree that using things is generic?
Yes, it's generic. Yes.
It's a way to hide. Or no?
Yes, it's the type of some hiding my precise things.
Can you precise these things? Can you tell us what are these things that make let you have pleasure? So we copy you, and we too have pleasure.
Okay. Okay. One of this thing is to meet to meet or to have conversation with interesting people.
Okay.
To have meetings with my friends, for example.
Sorry, you say that you are in a comfort zone when you are having interesting conversation with other people, right?
With friends, yes.
Or friends, yes.
Okay.
This is your idea of comfort.
Yes. And these things also, yes.
Okay. This means things in your sentence. When you said in your sentence things, you was thinking of having conversation with your friends, right?
And yes, about my friends, and not also friends and other things.
Okay, not also friends, but also this. Can you feel comfort also without friends?
Yes, I can feel comfort without friends.
For example, can you imagine a moment where you feel comfort, but there are no friends?
Yes, for example, then I'm reading.
Sorry?
Reading the book.
Reading.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What comforts you in while you're reading?
I do what I want. I do interesting thing for me.
Okay. You thinks your thoughts are with you, on you. It's not there are no distractions. Okay, one more minute.
What can you repeat another way? I don't.
Oh no, it was only just an idea. Since we have only 1 minute, let me ask you this: Do you think that? Do you think that challenge cannot give you comfort?
Yes. I can be anxious, then I have a challenge, and it is discomfort. for me.
And challenge can make you have pleasure.
A challenge. The result of the challenge, yes, it can make me a comfort in the result, not in the process.
Okay, and after I asked you a second question. Do you think that challenge can give you pleasure?
In the as a result, yes, it can gives me pleasure.
Okay, so both challenge and comfort can give you pleasure, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I guess that this long pause before the yes is a nice resistance where we can stop the consultation. Okay, thank you, Samuel, thank you, Maria. Now we can discuss a bit about what happened, and especially about the resistance that Maria used in the consultation to, yeah, with Samuel. Okay, Matteo.
I see two resistances. One is the non-verbal resistance, because often she answered, but before answering, she was doing some expressions to show the problems she has in answering. She does like this. So there is this non-verbal resistance.
And what do you think is the function of that resistance? Is a specific resist or is general resistance?
Specific or general?
I mean, there is a specific function that could explain why she is making all that stuff.
She like you show that it's difficult for you. It's a sort of showing your discomfort because it's difficult. You are doing what you can. So you are like justifying the difficulty to answering. Maybe I try.
So by showing the difficulty you are having is a way to justify yourself.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Nice. The second one.
I saw this contradiction about she doesn't like what was she doesn't like the what we are
challenge.
The challenge, but when Samuel asks if she fears it, she says she doesn't fear challenge, and there is a contradiction. Samuel asked a reason, but the reason she said is it's more a description of what happened before. It's not a reason, and so the contradiction is still there and show a sort of lie. She doesn't want to admit she fears the challenge.
Okay, so she ran away in a way we could say, by not admitting that he's fearing through lying.
Yes.
Let me check just for fun. Maria, did you lie to someone? Are you afraid of challenge?
Sometimes, yes, I'm afraid to challenge.
Okay, yeah. Sometimes it's enough.
Okay.
I provide you a transposition. Imagine Romeo going to Juliet and say, "Do you cheat on me, Juliet?" And she said, "Sometimes, yes, but not always. Just sometimes." You see the problem?
Yes, I see. Yes, problem.
Okay, so in this case, what sometimes means yes, more yes, or more no?
More yes, but the fear it's a strong word, and it's stopped me to think about it as a possibility.
Why have you fear about fear word? Are you afraid to say fear?
Yes, I think yes.
Why? What's so scary about saying fear? You see, I'm saying fear and I'm okay. Why are you scared?
Because I did not think that it was a fear. I think about that it's maybe anxious, but not fear. And now I see that it's maybe near.
Ah, okay. So you were not expecting that was a fear there, so you were not prepared to face that
Yes, not
concept.
prepared. Yes, yes.
Oh, okay. So you need to be prepared in order to feel better and to think.
Yes.
Okay, okay, makes sense now. Yes, okay. So Matteo was right.
Yes, yes. In this part, yes.
Okay, this part. Nice.
Yes, yes. But I wanted to ask about non-verbal resistance because I know that I have a habit to do some non-verbal things when I'm thinking, but I don't think that it can be all resistance. Maybe it's the habit of the person.
Okay, but you see, the habit usually is not a cause; it's a consequence. If you have that habit, so you could ask yourself, why do I have that habit? Why do you have that habit, by the way? Do you think?
I will think about it. I have no the answer now.
Yeah, but you see, that's I mean, you are in level 2. You should be okay with thinking with another person because that's the job you are supposed to do.
Yes.
You see, you are scared to think in the dialogue. You want to be prepared to prepare your answer and then to give your answer. But you feel like a bit nervous when you have to think about something you don't know in the dialogue.
Yes.
Notice that this stuff, this thing, or no?
Yes, yes, I noticed. Maybe it is it's the desire of perfection. I don't know to know everything in the one time.
Yeah, but you see that this kind of tendency you have stops you to think because you say, I don't know, give me 2 days and I will let you know. But you're supposed to think, not to be prepared. And by the way, when you think more when you know less. So once you don't know, that's the right moment to start thinking.
Okay.
Okay. So stop to wanting be prepared and think and say something. If it's wrong, who cares? You are thinking. I mean, you are supposed after the level 2, you're supposed to invite the other person to think. But you see, you have a problem to think with others. You notice that?
Yeah, I notice. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So don't prepare too much and try. Don't be scared about trying. But you don't like challenge, right? Yes, you don't like. Okay. Any other observations? Galit?
It's about summary strategy. In one point, when Maria answered with a general answer, someone used humor. Tell me what is the thing that make you, I don't exactly, comfort, and then we can copy the thing or something like that. Then Maria smiled, and it make it a bit more playfulness discussion than heaviness one.
Yes, indeed. Yes. Okay. Irony, by the way, we didn't mention before, but irony is another good strategy in order to avoid the resistance or to overcome the resistance or to reduce the resistance of the other. Yes. Yes. So I think, by the way, irony is one of the most important tools we can use in the consultation. And yes. Okay. Thank you, Galit. Hans Christian, please, short and clear, right?
Yes. First, I think that Maria used the "I'm afraid I don't." First, I think that Maria used the "I am afraid I don't understand" technique. Secondly,
Oh, wait. Okay, nice. Let's stay with that. So you're saying that Maria was using the not understanding as a way to resist.
Yes, and then holding the floor by saying, "What do you mean? What do you? I am confused."
Okay, nice. To break the rhythm of the dialogue by saying, "I don't understand," and to okay. Let me check. Then we go with the second idea. Maria, is Hans Christian right?
Yes, he right.
Oh, you're smart. Okay. Be aware, because happens in the consultation that if you're gonna have like some clients, that it could happen that people that I don't understand, and often they can use the language as an excuse. I don't understand English, you know. It's very common. Yes. Okay. Nice, Christian. Hans, yes. You have a second idea, right?
Yes. This may be less obvious. Curiously, it occurred to me that Samuel failed to point out to the obvious.
Could you give us an example?
Yes. For example, when when Maria said she didn't like challenge because it was not comfortable, and I would have said, if is discomfort pleasant? He tried to find a reason, but the obvious was right in front of him, that discomfort is something that we by nature do not like very much.
Okay, so wait, now you're saying that Samuel was asking banal question.
No, he asked a question which was very clear, and then he complicated things by not noticing that what's right in front of him, that comfort is not very nice. And discomfort, the opposite of comfort. We all want comfort.
Okay. Well, yeah, okay. Samuel, what do you think?
I think that in the end of the session, I was a little bit confused or maybe tired, and I lost the agenda I was following.
This was in the beginning.
More in the end, I think, but maybe.
But this was in the very beginning, actually. So.
Okay. And by the way, you use the word agenda. Oh, thanks, Answer, for the comment. But were you following an agenda?
When I was I tried to link her answer together, taking it in my mind and make a sense from them.
Oh wow! It seems difficult to do it.
So I get confused.
Okay, but I think you're doing too much in the consultation if you do that. You're supposed to make the other person think, but it seems that you think more than the other person.
Yeah.
Okay, so don't forget, when you are a philosopher, your first aim is to make the other person think, not to show that you're good, not to think too much yourself. Okay, so if you, and by the way, if you do less, I think you see more. So that's why at the end I think you were tired, because you were doing so much work inside your head, your mind. Okay. Yes. Okay. So do less, Samuel. Remember. Okay. Let me add just one idea about the resistance. I noticed another one, which was, I think, at the beginning of the consultation. Maria, you were using generic words in order to escape, like things, and Samuel was good to point it out. You use things, but things could be anything. So it's another strategy to escape. And in that case, I think Samuel did a good job to, make you aware about that generic word and to be more specific. Did you notice that you were using generic at the beginning, Maria?
Yes, I noticed.
Yes. Okay. You see how many beautiful ways there are in order to resist to dialogue and thinking. have plenty of resistance, but luckily we are plenty of strategy as well in order to deal with them. Okay, so I think we can stop here. Just if you want a short last final comment about all the session. So now you can have a meta, let's say, observation and feedback about the session. Something that you learn, something it was difficult, something you like, something you didn't like, anything. Before we say bye. Okay, Galit?
It was nice at the beginning to start with our resistance as a client, and then to think about strategy from the point of view of the client.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think it's important to be aware about our own resistance in order to deal with other people's resistance. So that's why I thought it was maybe nice to start from that. Yes. Okay, thank you, Galit. And someone else? Maria?
I like the temples, this workshop. It was very intensive and from different sides, from resistance and strategies to challenge this resistance. And I also like advices which gives me about challenges. It's nice.
Okay, okay, thank you. Hans Christian, I saw before raise your hand. You want to say something as a final concept?
Well, it's not really important. It was just I got lost halfway through the last thing because Samuel talked about generic. I thought, I know generic from biology, but what does it mean here?
No, I was saying generic words.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. He talked about that and the generic. What does generic mean? I mean, maybe the guy leading the session could sometimes stop and say, "Hey, could you explain this? What do you mean by Dasein, for example?" Okay.
But you see, I mean, yeah, I agree. Not always when someone is generic is escaping, but there are some people that they can use generic answers in order to escape the questions.
It was a word generic that I didn't understand. I could not remember what generic meant.
You don't know generic meaning?
Yeah, I know generic from biology, but not in this context. I never heard of it before.
You know, generic as a general.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Like things is a general word, you know.
I was thinking about genetics, generic.
No, that's right. General words. Yes. Okay. And Pierre, Matteo, Samuel, you have something to say to conclude the session? No? Yeah,
it was nice. I like the idea of resistance, like something like there is a treasure behind it, like you said, not in this way, but there is something because there is resistance. Yeah. So
okay.
I like this idea you propose.
Okay, thank you. And so I will conclude with Matteo and then Samuel, if you have something.
I found very interesting when you showed us that a specific problem can be fixed or worked on with different strategies according to the client we have in front of us. So, for example, someone that speaks a lot and someone that speaks a little can be confronted with different patterns of questions or focusings.
Yes. That's why I think it's very important to train and to learn a strategy like we did a bit tonight. But at the same time, I think it's more important to be available to the present process of the dialogue, the consultation, because in a way, okay, you train yourself, but if you're not present, maybe you use the wrong strategy. So first thing is to be there with the client, to be present, and then in a way, if you train, you could you use the in a way, naturally the strategy you train for.
Yeah.
So,
and
yeah.
With Pierre, I would say also that resistance comes from existence. So what resists has to exist.
Okay, nice. I didn't think never thought about that. Resistant existence. Yes. Okay. So it's not possible not to resist. That's the idea. If you exist.
Yeah. And so what resist show that under this reaction is something, exists something. There's a not.
Okay, so the resistance shows the existence.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Also Aristotle say this.
Who?
Aristotle.
Ah, okay. Okay. But let me ask you, because it's interesting. And when something let it go, shows shows his existence as well, or no?
In existence, and so we are in the Oriental or Buddhistic vision.
Oh, so if you let go, you don't exist.
Yeah.
Okay. So in a way, people who have hard time to get over their resistance is because they don't want to live their existence. That's the idea.
Yeah. Or they exist too much. They want too much from their life, and so they resist.
Okay, nice one. I will keep that in mind. I never thought. Thanks. Nice idea. Yes. And I think Matteo is the last one.
I would pick the idea you suggested to Galit when you told her that she was too much in herself to use these strategies, which is similar to what happened to Samuel with the agenda, and it's something that happens also to me. So it's something I will pick because it's
okay. By using the last idea that I liked by Samuel, maybe it could be that you want to exist too much.
yes.
So, in a way, that's the important idea. In order to be a philosopher, you need to become no one, anyone. You need to become a non-subject. So that's not easy, by the way. So you have to know yourself and then to go over yourself, to forget about yourself, which is not easy. But did you recognize to Galit then, Matteo? Are you busy with yourself when you do consultation as well?
Yes, it's a mix of what she said and also Samuel. I am thinking too much, basically. I'm thinking to connect the questions as well as Samuel said, or to connect the first question with what is said after 20 minutes, because I want to give a sense to the whole speech.
Yeah. Yes, that shows that you are more with yourself than in the dialogue, basically.
Yes.
Because you put too pressure on yourself. You want to do too much. Don't forget, the other person has to work more than you.
Yes.
You know that in general, especially in Italy, you do the job if you do more than the client. But here is just the opposite. The client should do more than the philosopher.
Yes.
So if you do too much, the client can complain and to have the money back. But if you do the opposite, here is good. So work less, do less, and your job is gonna be better. Okay.
Good.
But don't do it at work in Italy because it doesn't work. You could be fired.
I know.
Okay, it was fun. Thank you, and maybe I think we're gonna do something more together later on, someday. But yes, I will put the recording in the folder, and see you next time then. Bye.
See you.
Everyone.
Bye. Ciao.
Bye. Good night.
Bye.